Have you ever wondered why, despite our best efforts, happiness often seems just out of reach? What if I told you that the secret to a truly fulfilling life isn't about chasing what we don't have, but embracing what we do? Today, we're going to uncover a simple yet profound truth that has transformed lives for thousands of years and could revolutionize yours too. Join me as we delve into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us not only how to survive life's storms, but how to dance in the rain. This isn't just about history, it's about transforming your everyday reality, making peace with the chaos, and finding joy in the ordinary. So, if you're tired of the constant pursuit of more and ready to discover the richness of less, stick around. This video might just change the way you see everything. And while you're here mastering the art of ancient tranquility, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, and watch it all, because skipping parts could disrupt the cosmic balance of your digital karma. Part 1. What is Stoicism? You might have heard about it here and there, but today we're getting into the nuts and bolts of it. Stoicism isn't just an ancient philosophy. Think of it as a life hack from way back in the days of the Roman Empire that's still super effective today. It's about helping us face our chaotic world with a bit of a game plan. So, Stoicism was founded way back in ancient Greece and got really popular in Rome. It's not just about stoic, unemotional faces like those old statues you see in museums. Instead, Stoicism teaches us that the path to happiness is accepting the moment as it presents itself, not allowing ourselves to be controlled by the desire for pleasure or fear of pain, but instead using our minds to understand the world around us and work with it, not against it. The cool part: Stoics believe that everything around us operates according to a web of cause and effect, which means life isn't just a series of random events. They see the universe as rational, and so by aligning ourselves with this rationality, we can find true peace. It's about recognizing what's in our control and what's not. We can't control the weather, the traffic, or what the guy at the coffee shop says about our shirt. But we can control our responses, choosing not to get upset over the small stuff or even the big stuff. That's Stoic. The core of Stoicism lies in three disciplines: perception, action, and will. Perception is about seeing the world clearly. Action is about behaving in a way that is just. And will is about learning to accept the things we can't change. These aren't just passive states but active choices, which means we're kind of like mental athletes, training our minds every day to get stronger and more resilient. By embracing Stoicism, we train ourselves to detach from the chaos of our desires and fears. We learn to elevate our thinking and focus on what truly matters, our own actions and attitudes. It's powerful because it turns every obstacle into an opportunity to practice virtue, like patience when you're stuck in traffic, or courage when you face something that scares you. So, if you think about it, Stoicism isn't just philosophy, it's a daily practice, a toolkit for living a better life. It's not about suppressing emotions or hiding pain, but about transforming them by the way we perceive and react to them. And that's what we're going to explore together. Stick with me, and let's uncover how these ancient ideas can make a huge difference in the modern hustle and bustle. Part 2. Embracing what we cannot change. It's a concept that might seem a bit tough at first. After all, our natural instinct is often to try to control everything around us. But Stoicism offers us a powerful shift in perspective that can seriously lighten our mental load. Think about it. How often have you stressed over something completely out of your control? Maybe it was the weather ruining your weekend plans, or someone else's actions affecting your mood. Stoics teach us that the key to inner peace lies not in trying to control these external events, but in mastering our responses to them. It's about acknowledging that some things are simply beyond our grasp. Now, embracing what we cannot change doesn't mean giving up or not caring. It's actually about focusing our energy more productively. Instead of fretting over what's out of our hands, we focus on what we can influence: our own thoughts, our behavior, and our reactions. It's like being the captain of a ship. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. For example, if you're stuck in traffic and you're late for an appointment, getting angry or anxious won't clear the roads, but it will fill your body with stress. Stoicism teaches us to accept the situation, take a deep breath, and use that time to maybe listen to some calming music or an audiobook. This shift doesn't change the traffic, but it does change your experience of it. And here's where it gets really powerful. When we stop allowing external things to disturb our inner calm, we start experiencing a profound sense of freedom. We become less reactive to annoyances, less stressed by change, and more focused on living according to our values. This practice is not just about dealing with annoyances. It also helps us face serious challenges and losses with a stronger, steadier heart. Stoics understand that life is full of unexpected twists, and by embracing the fact that we can't control everything, we prepare ourselves to face hardships with courage and resilience. So, embracing what we cannot change is a fundamental Stoic practice that frees us from unnecessary stress and helps us cultivate tranquility and acceptance. By focusing on our own actions and letting go of the rest, we can navigate life's ups and downs with a lot more grace and a lot less angst. Remember, it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our views about them. Change your perspective, and you change your experience. Part 3. The challenge of modern distractions. We live in a world that's constantly buzzing with notifications, social media feeds, and endless streams of entertainment. It's easy to get lost in this digital noise, which often makes it tough to stay focused on what truly matters. This is where Stoicism steps in, offering us valuable insights on how to navigate these distractions with wisdom and balance. Think about how often our phones interrupt us with notifications that pull our attention away from more meaningful activities. Whether it's a new email, a text message, or updates from social media, each ping can lead to a rabbit hole of distraction. Stoics would see this as an opportunity to practice discipline and to exercise control over our impulses rather than letting them control us. In Stoic philosophy, the concept of prosos, or attentive awareness, is key. It's about being mindful of our current task and maintaining focus despite the buzz of the world around us. This means making conscious choices about when and how we engage with technology, rather than mindlessly scrolling or responding to every alert. Imagine the peace that comes from not being tethered to your device, from choosing to engage with the world on your own terms. For Stoics, distractions are not just digital, they include any external desires that pull us away from our moral and philosophical goals. Modern consumer culture constantly bombards us with messages that we need more to be happy, more gadgets, more clothes, more everything. Stoicism teaches us to value simplicity and to find contentment in what we have. It challenges us to question, do I really need this? Or can I be happy and fulfilled without it? Applying this Stoic perspective involves taking regular tech breaks, where we disconnect from digital devices to reconnect with our own thoughts or to be present with others. It's about creating spaces in our day, free from distractions, where we can reflect, relax, or engage in deeper, more meaningful work. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to focus on our inner virtues rather than external validation. In a world where social media often dictates our self-worth based on likes and follows, Stoicism reminds us that true value comes from living a virtuous life, being good rather than just looking good. Embracing Stoicism today means learning to navigate and minimize modern distractions. It's about creating a life where we control our technology, not the other way around. This doesn't mean shunning all modern tools, but using them wisely and ensuring they add real value to our lives, not just noise. By cultivating discipline and mindfulness, we can overcome these distractions and focus on building a life of true meaning and satisfaction. Part 4. Cultivating inner strength. This isn't about lifting weights or physical toughness. It's about fortifying your mind and spirit. Inner strength is your psychological backbone. It's what lets you face life's challenges not just with endurance, but with grace and wisdom. Stoicism teaches us that real strength isn't about how much you can push others or impose your will on the world. It's about how resilient you are internally, how well you can maintain your composure and clarity of thought under pressure. Think about the last time you faced a really stressful situation. Maybe it was a tough day at work or a personal conflict. How did you handle it? If you felt overwhelmed or reacted in a way you later regretted, that's totally human. But here's where cultivating inner strength can change the game. Developing this kind of strength starts with understanding that things will happen that are outside your control, and that's okay. What's not okay is letting those things disrupt your inner peace. Stoics focus a lot on perception, the idea that it's not events themselves that upset us, but the views we adopt about them. By changing our perceptions, we can maintain an inner calm regardless of external chaos. Here's a practical tip. Practice reframing challenges as opportunities. Next time something seemingly negative happens, pause and ask yourself, what can this teach me? Maybe there's a lesson in patience, or perhaps it's an opportunity to practice forgiveness or to strengthen a relationship through honest dialogue. This mindset shift doesn't happen overnight, but with practice, you start to see tough situations as catalysts for personal growth and strengthening your character. Another key aspect of building inner strength is staying true to your values, no matter what. This means being honest, fair, and responsible, even when it's easier not to be. It's about doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. And when you live aligned with your values, you build self-respect, which is a critical component of inner strength. Stoics also emphasize the importance of preparation. They often practiced what's called premeditatio malorum, which means premeditation of evils. This practice involves thinking about what could go wrong and preparing yourself mentally for these possibilities. It's not about pessimism, but about removing the shock and panic from adverse situations so you can handle them more calmly when they do arise. Cultivating inner strength also means learning to let go of the desire for external approval. It's about being secure in who you are and your own worth, without needing constant validation from others. This secure self-identity is your armor against the unpredictability of life. So, building inner strength is a core part of Stoicism and a powerful tool for any of us. It allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with a steady heart and a clear mind. And the more we practice, the better we get at it. Remember, every challenge is a chance to strengthen that inner muscle, and over time, you'll not only handle stress better, but you'll also find a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment in your daily life. Part 5. Turning challenges into opportunities. I know it might sound like one of those overly optimistic mottos, but bear with me. There's some serious practical wisdom here that can change the way you handle life's tougher moments. Stoicism teaches us that it's not the obstacles themselves that are the issue, it's how we see them. Imagine you hit a roadblock, something really frustrating. Maybe a project at work hits a snag, or you encounter a personal setback. Our first reaction might be disappointment or stress, right? But Stoicism offers a different perspective. It asks us to see each challenge not as a barrier, but as a valuable chance to grow. For example, if a project you're working on runs into problems, instead of letting frustration take over, ask yourself what this situation can teach you. Is it a chance to improve your problem-solving skills? Maybe it's pushing you to be more creative or to collaborate more closely with others. Perhaps it's even offering you the opportunity to demonstrate leadership under pressure. When you start viewing challenges this way, every hurdle becomes a stepping stone to personal development. Here's where the Stoic practice of the obstacle is the way comes into play. This idea is rooted in the belief that the very thing that seems to hinder your path can become the path itself. Think about great innovators or leaders. Often the challenges they faced didn't just test their resolve, they shaped their greatest achievements. But how do you make this shift in perspective? It starts with a simple yet powerful switch in your mindset. Whenever you face a problem, take a moment to pause and reframe it. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How can this help me grow?" This approach not only makes the problem feel more manageable, but also puts you back in control, turning you from a passive recipient of difficulties into an active seeker of solutions. Another key element here is resilience, which Stoics are big on developing. Resilience isn't about being unaffected, it's about bouncing back stronger after you've faced a setback. And part of bouncing back is being able to look back at what happened, learn the lessons it has to offer, and apply them going forward. This doesn't just apply to big life-changing events. Daily annoyances are also chances to practice resilience and fortify your character. So, embracing challenges as opportunities is about more than just surviving them. It's about using them as catalysts for personal and professional growth. This Stoic principle encourages us not just to endure, but to thrive, using each new challenge as a tool to carve out a stronger, more capable version of ourselves. Remember, the next time you face something daunting, you have a choice. You can let it defeat you, or you can let it develop you. Choose development, choose growth. And let's keep pushing forward, using Stoicism not just to get through life, but to get the most out of it. Part 6. Simplifying our lives. When you think about simplifying, what comes to mind? Maybe decluttering your space or perhaps cutting down your to-do list. While those are definitely part of it, Stoicism takes simplification deeper. It's about paring down life to its essentials, not just externally, but internally as well. Stoics believe that by removing excess from our lives, we can reach a clearer understanding of what really makes us happy and what's truly necessary. It's about finding beauty and satisfaction in simplicity, rather than getting caught up in the endless pursuit of more. Think about how often we're bombarded with messages telling us we need the latest gadget, a bigger house, or a newer car to be happy. Stoicism challenges this notion by encouraging us to look inward and find contentment within ourselves. This simplification extends to our desires and emotions as well. Stoics strive to maintain a straightforward approach to life by managing their desires and focusing on what they can control, like their thoughts and actions, rather than external possessions or status. It's about asking yourself, do I really need this, or do I just want it because it seems like everyone else has it? By reducing these external cravings, we not only free up our resources, but also our minds. So, how can we start simplifying our lives? First, take a look around you. What do you see that you don't use? What takes up space without adding value? Begin by decluttering your physical space, but then move on to your schedule. What commitments are you keeping that don't enrich your life or align with your values? It's not just about having fewer things for the sake of minimalism. It's about having more space for what truly matters. Next, consider your mental space. This is about simplifying your emotional landscape by letting go of grudges, unnecessary worries, and the pressure to meet everyone else's expectations. Practice saying no to things that drain your energy without providing meaningful returns. By doing this, you prioritize activities and relationships that foster true growth and happiness. Stoicism teaches us that the quality of our lives is determined not by our circumstances or possessions, but by our inner lives, the state of our minds and souls. Simplifying helps us to reduce the noise and distractions that pull us away from this truth. It supports us in living more deliberately and meaningfully, focusing on what we can give, not just on what we can get. Ultimately, living a simplified life according to Stoic principles doesn't mean denying yourself joy or pleasure. It means understanding that the greatest satisfaction often comes from the simplest sources: deep connections with loved ones, the joy of personal growth, and the peace that comes from living a life aligned with your values. As we move forward, let's challenge ourselves to simplify not just our closets or our calendars, but our intentions and our interactions. Let's clear the clutter that keeps us from truly seeing ourselves and our potential, making room for a life filled with more purpose, more peace, and more profound happiness. Part 7. Valuing authentic connections. In the whirlwind of our daily lives, it's easy to skim the surface of relationships, never really diving deep. But Stoicism places a strong emphasis on the value of deep, meaningful relationships, not just as a source of personal joy, but as a crucial component of a virtuous life. The Stoics believed that human beings are fundamentally social creatures meant to live in harmony with one another. They saw relationships as opportunities to practice virtues like kindness, understanding, and patience. But more than just practicing these virtues, Stoic philosophy teaches us that authentic connections enrich our lives, providing support and joy that can't be replicated by superficial interactions. So, what does it mean to value authentic connections? It means prioritizing quality over quantity. It's about spending time with people who uplift you and encourage you to be your best self. These relationships should be nurtured with honesty and openness, allowing both people to express their true selves without fear of judgment. This isn't always easy. It requires vulnerability, which can be scary. But the reward is a bond that provides a deep sense of belonging and support. Cultivating these connections involves more than just being there for the big moments. It's also about showing up for the small ones. It's listening intently when a friend shares something important, offering help without being asked, or simply sending a message to check in. These actions might seem small, but they're the threads that weave a strong fabric of friendship. Stoicism also reminds us that every interaction is an opportunity to practice being present. In our world of constant distractions, giving someone your full attention is a powerful gift. It means putting away your phone, making eye contact, and actively listening. This presence is what turns an ordinary conversation into a moment of true connection. Moreover, authentic relationships are not just about enjoying good times together. They're also about being there during the tough times. Stoicism teaches us to offer a steady hand and a listening ear without imposing judgments or quick fixes. It's about being a comforting presence, offering support simply by being present. And let's not forget, valuing authentic connections means sometimes having difficult conversations. It involves addressing issues when they arise rather than letting resentment build up. This honesty might challenge the peace temporarily, but it ultimately strengthens the relationship. by clearing misunderstandings and deepening trust. To sum up, valuing authentic connections in the Stoic sense isn't just about finding people who make you happy. It's about building relationships that are grounded in mutual respect, genuine care, and shared growth. It's these connections that enrich our lives, buffer us against the vicissitudes of life, and help us grow in virtue. As we move forward, let's challenge ourselves to deepen our relationships, to be fully present with others, and to cultivate a community that reflects our highest values. Remember, in the vast tapestry of life, our relationships are the threads that add color and warmth. Part 8. Learning to let go. This is a big one because, let's be honest, letting go isn't just about decluttering your closet or cleaning out your email inbox. It's about releasing the mental and emotional clutters that bog us down. Stoicism, with its practical wisdom, offers us incredible insights on how to master this skill. In Stoic philosophy, letting go is fundamentally about understanding and accepting the limits of our control. The Stoics remind us that trying to control everything is like trying to grasp water. It's futile and frustrating. Instead, they teach us to focus on our own actions and attitudes, which are truly within our control. This means letting go of our grip on outcomes, other people's actions, and everything else outside ourselves. But how do you actually practice letting go in everyday life? It starts with recognizing when you're holding on too tightly to something. Maybe it's a grudge, a failed relationship, or an unmet expectation. Holding on to these things can cause a lot of inner turmoil and even manifest as stress or anger. Stoicism encourages us to examine these feelings objectively, to understand their roots, and to ask ourselves, is holding on to this serving me, or is it harming me? Letting go also involves forgiveness, which is a powerful form of letting go. Forgiving isn't about condoning wrong actions, but about freeing yourself from the burden of resentment. It's a gift you give yourself, a way to unshackle yourself from the past. The Stoics saw forgiveness as a strength, a way to demonstrate superior moral character by choosing peace over holding onto hurt. Another aspect of letting go is about expectations, especially the unrealistic ones we often place on ourselves and others. Stoicism teaches us to temper our expectations with a dose of realism and humility. Expectations can set us up for disappointment. Letting them go can lead to more peace and acceptance of what actually is, rather than being upset over what isn't. Letting go is also critical when it comes to fear of the unknown, which often holds us back from making changes or taking chances. Stoics advocate facing the future with a composed heart and an open mind, embracing the unknown rather than fearing it. They remind us that change is the only constant, and our resilience lies in our ability to adapt and embrace life's impermanence. Embracing the Stoic practice of letting go can profoundly change how you interact with the world. It lightens your emotional load, clears your vision, and deepens your understanding of yourself and your place in the world. It's not about indifference, but about finding freedom and flexibility in our thoughts and responses. As we continue our journey, let's practice letting go of the weights that hold us back. Let's embrace the freedom that comes from releasing what we cannot change and focusing wholly on what we can influence. Remember, every moment you choose to let go, you're choosing to rise above your circumstances, to live freely and wisely, true to the Stoic path. Part 9. The importance of self-reflection. Let's now delve into a cornerstone of Stoic practice that really transforms lives: self-reflection. This isn't just about taking a moment now and then to think about your day. It's a deeper, more intentional process of examining your thoughts, actions, and reactions. It's how we make sense of our experiences and truly align our daily lives with our deepest values. Self-reflection is key in Stoicism because it helps us understand ourselves better and clarifies our path forward. Stoics believe that an unexamined life is not worth living because without understanding our motivations and actions, we can't direct our lives towards virtue and wisdom. This process involves asking tough questions. Are my actions aligned with my values? What virtues am I practicing? Where am I falling short, and why? This kind of introspection can be challenging because it forces us to confront aspects of ourselves that we might not be proud of, our flaws, our mistakes, our failures. But here's the beautiful part. Stoicism teaches us that every flaw and mistake is an opportunity for growth. By reflecting on these, we're not just criticizing ourselves, we're taking the first step towards becoming better, stronger, more virtuous people. Practically, self-reflection can look like setting aside time each day or week to quietly think about your recent experiences. Many Stoics recommend doing this in the evening, reviewing the day's events, the decisions you made, the things you said, and how you felt. This isn't a time for self-judgment, but for objective observation. It's about understanding your patterns, both good and bad, and planning ways to improve. For instance, if you find that you often lose your temper in traffic, reflect on what triggers this response. Is it the delay, or is it something deeper, perhaps an impatience or a feeling of being out of control? Once you identify the root cause, you can start to address it, perhaps by reminding yourself before you start driving that delays are normal and not within your control, but keeping your calm is. Moreover, self-reflection enhances our resilience. By regularly assessing our responses to challenges and stresses, we can start to see our growth over time. This realization that we are capable of learning and becoming better can be incredibly empowering and encouraging, especially during tough times. Self-reflection also helps in simplifying life. It clears the clutter of unnecessary worries and focuses us on what truly matters. When we understand our priorities and where we truly want to invest our energy, it becomes easier to let go of the trivial or distracting elements of life. As we continue on our Stoic journey, I encourage you to embrace self-reflection not as a sporadic activity, but as a regular practice. Think of it as mental hygiene, as essential as brushing your teeth. It keeps your mind clear and your heart aligned with your true purpose. Let's commit to being thoughtful about our lives, to understanding our actions, and to continuously striving for personal excellence. Remember, every reflective moment is a step towards a more enlightened self. Part 10. Embracing Everyday Stoicism. It's not just about understanding Stoic concepts or admiring the philosophy. It's about living it, making it a part of your daily routine, just like your morning coffee or brushing your teeth. So, how do we make Stoicism not just something we study, but something we live? First and foremost, Stoicism teaches us about the importance of our daily actions and decisions. Every small choice you make is a chance to practice Stoicism. You decide to be patient in a long line, choose kindness over irritation, or approach a challenging task with courage rather than fear. These aren't monumental decisions, but they're the fibers of a virtuous life. Think about this. Stoicism isn't about grand gestures or huge life changes all at once. It's about the small, consistent practices. For example, when you start your day, take a few moments to set your intentions. What are the Stoic ideals you want to focus on today? Maybe today you focus on gratitude, actively appreciating what you have instead of fretting over what you don't. Or perhaps you decide to practice temperance by controlling your impulses, whether it's not reaching for that extra cup of coffee or refraining from impulse buying. Another way to embrace everyday Stoicism is to use challenges as practice grounds. Stoics see every difficulty as a training exercise for developing virtue. When something goes wrong, instead of reacting with frustration or disappointment, ask yourself, what Stoic virtue can I practice in response to this challenge? Maybe it's the resilience to bounce back from a setback, or perhaps it's the integrity to own up to a mistake. Also, remember to reflect. At the end of the day, take some time to think about the instances where you successfully applied Stoic principles and times you might have fallen short. This isn't about self-judgment, but about self-improvement. What can you learn from today's experiences? How can you better embody Stoic virtues tomorrow? Furthermore, sharing your journey can amplify your practice. Talk about what you're learning and practicing with friends or family. Not only does this help solidify your own understanding, but it also invites others to reflect on their own perspectives and practices. Stoicism, after all, isn't a solitary journey. It's about building a community that supports each other's growth. Integrate Stoic readings or meditations into your routine. Whether it's a morning quote from Marcus Aurelius or a nightly reading from Seneca, these ancient words can provide daily reminders and insights to guide your practice. So, embracing everyday Stoicism means making a series of small, deliberate choices that align with Stoic virtues. It's about living intentionally, with wisdom and virtue as your guides. By doing so, you transform philosophy into a living, breathing part of your everyday existence, enriching not just your own life, but also the lives of those around you. Let's commit to being active practitioners of Stoicism each and every day, making the most of each moment with virtue, purpose, and joy. And there we have it, a journey through the foundational principles of Stoicism, crafted to help us navigate life's storms with grace and strength. Remember, Stoicism isn't just a set of ideas to understand, it's a way of life to be lived, a path to walk every day, rain or shine. It's about transforming challenges into triumphs and finding serenity amidst chaos. Every moment is an opportunity to practice, to grow, and to embody the virtues that lead to a truly fulfilling life. Thank you for joining me in exploring how these ancient teachings can be applied in our modern lives. If you're inspired to dive even deeper, check out the playlist on your screen for more insights and practical tips. Together, let's continue to cultivate resilience, wisdom, and peace, step by step, day by day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that enlightens and empowers. Until next time, keep living the Stoic way, purposefully, passionately, and profoundly.